Good morning. I'm going to try to be a little brief about this, but I heard that Biden ordered pride flags to be flown at U.S. military bases. I couldn't find confirmation of that, but if that's true, there's problems with it. It's no longer June. That's supposedly when he gave the order, but anybody who knows, I'd love to hear in the comments if that was really true. Going back earlier, Secretary of Defense under Trump, Mark Esper, ordered them to be taken down. That was during the BLM fiasco in 2020, and they tore down a bunch of Confederate flags, statues, whatever else, but no display of that on U.S. military bases. But people were upset. Some people were upset that he got rid of the pride flags in the process. And there was actually a very good reason for that, but he's not articulate enough to explain that. And people were sort of left scratching their heads why it went that way. A recent spending deal also removes pride flags from U.S. embassies. Anything for money. I guess they had to do that to make sure this $12 billion package got passed or whatever. But regardless, that was done back in March or so, I think. Legal situation, what the pride flag represents, we can get into that. The pride flag and military members. And in conclusion, I'll just tell you bottom line up front, the pride flag, it's political advocacy and a flag. It should be an easy answer as to why they're not letting people fly these things. But talking about this is back in 2021. U.S. missions overseas can once again fly the flag. Biden said it's great. Go ahead and put it on the embassies. I'm talking about embassies here, not military bases. But still, 2021, they overturned this evil, meanie Trump thing about getting rid of them. Okay, great. Biden agencies wave flags and an about face from Trump. Yeah, it was all Trump's fault. Yay. Well, maybe there were legal reasons for why it was done. I don't think Trump himself necessarily ordered this. He'll do whatever. He's waved gay flags before in campaigns, so I don't think it was his doing. There really is a legal reason. But like I mentioned, White House agrees to ban pride flags at U.S. embassies in a spending bill deal. All right. Well, the Confederate flag, the native flags, Native Nations flags, and the pride flags all have different circumstances behind them. The Confederate flag's no longer got any governmental authority behind it. There's no law supporting it. The Native Nations flags, they have some governmental support behind them, that there's reasons and circumstances why those would legally be flown. The pride flag is another matter. It all goes back to the 14th Amendment, which was passed, of course, after the 13th Amendment. The 13th Amendment illegalized slavery. The 14th Amendment prevented slaves from being re-enslaved by states that tried to do an end around to the 13th Amendment, doing whatever. This just basically said, no, slavery is illegal and everybody has equal protection. That's the important part of this. 14th Amendment, Section 1, the Equal Protection Clause, which you might have heard about before, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws. Equal protection. Now, that means every Supreme Court decision that came down supporting gay rights, the Lawrence v. Texas, Obergefell, and all the others, I'm not going to go through, about 5 or 6 of them, that established everything from marriage to serving the military and whatever else. That's the law of the land. Okay, it just went to the Supreme Court. It didn't go through Congress, but that's how a lot of laws get passed. It goes to the Supreme Court. 9 judges rule on it, justices, and they ruled in those cases that there were these rights. All right? The trouble is, this flag here, okay, that covers everything. But I guess that's not enough for some people. They want to wave a gay flag along with it. Well, you shouldn't have to, because those gay rights are in this flag, 14th Amendment. It covers everything from race, creed, color, and now sexual orientation, at least according to those cases, those 5 or 6 cases, is under the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment. So that right there. The gay flag is, at best, redundant, at worst, advocating something else. And this is where it gets interesting, because the gay flag also has to do with trans, and there's been no trans case. This is the closest they've come to deciding on that. Metropolitan School District of Martinsville versus AC. That was a petition for cert, denied January 16th. That means they went to the Supreme Court, tried to go to the express lane directly. The Supreme Court said, nope, you go through the same system as everybody else and go through the circuits, and then eventually if there's a conflict in circuits or something like that, then we can look at it. They do this for a lot of cases. It's not just this. They weren't picking on the issue. Almost always, petitions to go direct to the Supreme Court, almost always they get rejected, and that's what happened here. Now, what is the LGBT flag? That's it. Aha, LGBT. So lesbian, gay, bisexual, and trans. All the cases I just mentioned before, there's nothing in there about trans rights. There's been no decision, so there's nothing that is covered under the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment. Therefore, this flag is an advocacy flag. It goes beyond that. It's advocating a political position. You might be okay with that position, but it is advocating a position, as are these other ones too, especially these that clearly show the progress trans-inclusive variation. I mean, if this is a trans-inclusive, but that's got a T on it, there's really not much difference here. So we can go through over half these I haven't seen before. I'm pretty certain there's no leather pride rights or rubber pride, BDSM, or the Bear Brotherhood. You can look those up yourself, but these are all advocacy flags, and that's why they are not flown or should not be flown at a military base, and that's just the way things are. It violates the Hatch Act to order people to do this. If Biden did order the military bases to display these things, the Hatch Act is supposed to separate political activities from federal employees, federal offices. It's not supposed to be taking a position. You can't even do fundraising from your office as a congressman and not violate this. It's actually very specific. Employees are very limited as to what they can do. Military members even more so. Now, how are they limited? Well, you wouldn't know, but these are some of the things you see now. The military doesn't look very limited. Now, I know some of these pictures are foreign, but there are pictures of military members here, U.S. military members displaying the pride flag in marches. Oftentimes when you see it, you'll see National Guardsmen. Like this picture over here shows National Guard members marching with the flag. Now, these are active duty Air Force officers right here displaying the pride flag. And this sends a very mixed message, especially to enlisted people. They think that's cool, but they go ahead and do this on an Air Force website. That's an Air Force non-commissioned officer rank displaying a political message on the rank as if, yeah, it's one and the same. We all represent this and we're all proud of it. Well, you might be proud, but doing this with an official capacity, that is wrong. That's a violation of the Hatch Act. It's illegal. The president, if he did order that, shouldn't be ordering it. And you as a military member should not be following unlawful orders. What does it matter? What's the harm? Well, when it comes to things like cohesion and knowing whose team everybody's on, this one goes even farther. This actually has the trans colors in there. We don't have trans rights. We certainly don't have Q or whatever the plus is. I mean, plus right there, they're not done adding to it yet. So no, this is not part of the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment. It just isn't. So what can you do? Well, those are covered under political activities. And these references here are still up on the government websites. There's a whole list of them here. DOD instructions, which the president, by the way, can change. He can change those. If he does that and he contradicts federal law, eventually the Supreme Court would hear about it and through a lawsuit, through the system bubbling up, and eventually strike down any outrageous changes that he made to it. But if he wanted to, and he just figured he'd get a few years out of doing that, he could do that. He could adjust these policies here to go ahead and authorize or legalize the pride flag being displayed on a military base. But they haven't. They haven't done that. So they're trying to sort of have their cake and eat it too. And this is a list as of March 2023, what's out there. Now, what is out there? Here's wearing the uniform, where you're allowed to wear it, how you're allowed to use it. Covers a few things here and there, but doesn't go into all the details. The one that actually really gets into the meat of the matter, this is the political activities by members of the armed forces. You can have a bumper sticker on the back of your car. Believe it or not, it actually limits it to one bumper sticker, not several. Not a big flag in the back window. That's not a bumper sticker. A bumper sticker. That's very, very strict. This is the members of active duty forces may. This is the may list. You can register to vote. You can encourage others, whatever. Again, not in uniform. You can take issues. You can write letters to the editor. Have to be clear about this is not the military's position. This is my position. There's a lot of cans. There's a lot of cannots. Member of the armed forces on active duty shall not participating in partisan political fundraising activities. Serving capacity, be listed as a sponsor of a political club, radio, television program advocating, march or ride in a partisan political parade. No, they're not really supposed to do that either. Displaying large sign or banner, like I mentioned, you can have a bumper sticker, one bumper sticker, but you cannot have a big banner or flag, your Trump flag in the back of your pickup truck on active duty. No, sorry, you're not supposed to do that. Not on post, not in uniform. Even on your own time, it might be a little bit questionable, but regardless, this is 2008, hasn't been changed. So there are limits as to what they're allowed to do. Everybody assumes we still have this military over here and we just added a flag to it. No, we no longer have this military. It's another subject. And this is hoisting a political banner. This is the American flag as covered and represented under the Constitution. This is a political banner. You're representing an advocacy that you might agree with, but nevertheless an advocacy. So that's the flag that represents everything covered in the Constitution. That's the only one that should be flying on the military base unless authorized otherwise, and that would include the POW MIA flag, which is about recovering remains of U.S. servicemen. And that would include, in some cases, states, again, embassies, a little bit different, but not too different. Biden is not flying the pride flag at the embassies. Not sure that that they would be prohibited from doing that. But the workers within there, they are still federal workers. They have limits on what they can do. That's another discussion. But in terms of the military, no. No, this is the only flag that should be flying anywhere on post. I know it should probably be this flag here, but until such time as they make it this flag, and who knows, they just might. No, no, this flag is also unauthorized. So anyway, just wanted to cover that real quick and wrap it up. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment if you want to.